Hello, everyone, and welcome to FuelMade's D2C Inspiration Series, where we're partnering up with experts to talk to founders and marketers from leading brands. I'm Tina. I lead marketing at FuelMade, and we're a Shopify agency that specializes in custom development and design, conversion rate optimization, and Klaviyo email and SMS marketing. I have two super awesome guests here today, Ben Parr, the co-founder and president of Octane AI, and Alex Tenney, the founder of Skinny Mixes. By the way, I use your products all of the time, and I've got my dad addicted to them too. So super excited to chat with you today. Thank you so much for joining. And why don't you both give a bit of an introduction about who you are and what Octane AI and Skinny Mixes is. And Alex, let's start with you.
All right. Well, I'm Alex Tenney. I pretty much run the website for skinnymixes.com. Skinny Mixes is a sugar-free drink company. We have everything from coffee syrups to cocktail mixes like margaritas, but then you can also use it to flavor your water. And we're just constantly innovating in the beverage industry.
Awesome. And what about you, Ben?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Alex. I'm Ben. I'm president and co-founder of Octane AI. Octane AI, we're the zero-party data marketing platform for e-commerce. We build a set of tools that help our customers learn more about their customers through quizzes and conversational pop-ups, and leverage that data to do deep personalization, build up a zero-party database, and generate revenue for their stores and make their customers happier and help them figure out what they want to buy.
Perfect. I'm super excited to have you both here. And as Ben kind of mentioned, today's talk is obviously going to be about customer first data, quizzes, personalization, all of that fun stuff. So Ben, I'm actually going to hand things over to you to lead our Q&A today.
So I guess maybe, Alex, I'll kind of just get started with like what your zero-party data strategy is today. And so I think for everyone out there, we have entered this world where brands have had to go from relying on third-party data sources to learning more about their own customers directly. And you all have been doing that with Octane AI and for a while now, since I think the beginning of when we launched our shop quiz. So maybe talk a little bit about the strategy of why you decided to build a quiz, why you decided to implement a zero-party data strategy and get to know your customers better.
Yeah, so zero-party data was from the get-go something that was super important to us. Like I said, we have over 85 flavors, so we really hone in on recipes and getting to know the customers more. Like the quiz, when you guys approached us having that capability, we were like, wow, this works absolutely perfectly with our customers. So it's great, they pop onto the site, it's like a question comes up and it's like, what are you drinking? And that's worked really, really well with our brand, just having that nice conversation. It's kind of feels a little warmer. And then we get all the information on if they like chocolate syrup, if they're drinking, coffee versus tea. So yeah, zero-party data is just huge for us. And we're just really lucky to have a partner like you guys where it just works seamlessly.
Yeah, and so I guess maybe why did you decide to get started in that journey? Was there something in particular that made you think we need to go invest more into a customer first strategy, getting to know our customers, something that you were seeing in the market, same thing you were seeing in yourselves?
Yeah, with Skinny Mixes, kind of our core value is listening to our customers. So that's always been our main driver. Despite iOS and all of these crazy things, it's always just we want to know our customers. We want to listen to our customers. All our greatest ideas come from our customers. All of our new flavors come from, people commenting on the Facebook group, or, you see in search, they're searching for something that they can't find. So that's just really the core of it, is that Skinny Mixes listens to our customers.
And so I guess maybe the next question, how are you doing that today, and how the actual implementation, maybe talk a little bit about your quiz, your conversational pop-ups, what you're doing today to implement a zero-party data strategy.
Yeah, so we just like to think of it as a two-way conversation, whether it is with the quiz. They interact with our digital barista on the quiz. So it's just very much what do you like drinking? What do you like this? So it just feels very personal. So we're gathering all that data and we use it through our Facebook Messenger flows. And then we just started doing it in our email flows as well, which has been really amazing because we know, this person landed on a coffee recipe. So we're going to continue to feed them coffee recipes and feed them, the syrups and the cold brews and the things that they're interested in.
And what kind of questions are you asking right now in your quizzes, your conversational pop-ups? What are you trying to learn about your customers?
We really want to learn like what they're drinking and what they're using it for, because that really helps us expand our product portfolio. That's how coffee is obviously like our number one use, but we found a lot that people are using our products in water, which I thought was very odd because I mean, I'm just a plain water drinker. It was never something that I even thought of, but that was one of our top like picks that people ended up landing on in the recipes was, like what kind of recipe are you looking for? And people were looking for flavored water.
I mean, that was saying like that was a surprising, like that's like one of those surprising results, I guess, that you just learned by asking these kinds of questions that maybe you didn't know as much before.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like asking, like, we've really lost in COVID kind of the being able to go to a coffee shop, being able to go to a bar and having somebody really listen to your preferences. So this quiz allowed us to do that. And our customers really enjoy it and they retake the quiz, when they're bored. And it's been great for our customer service team to use as well. It's like, oh, I got this flavor. I don't really like it. And we're like, hey, check out this quiz and maybe it can guide you to a recipe that works for you.
So I definitely want to talk about results and like some data, but before we do that, I want to ask, how are you leveraging this data? So you have built these like amazing experiences recommending different recipes. Now, how are you leveraging the data? You talked a little bit about it in Messenger and email. Maybe elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, so with this data, we kind of put them into like 3 or 4 buckets. The 2 biggest buckets is obviously cocktail mixes and coffee syrups. So we just base all of our marketing efforts after that through our email and our text messaging, as well as our Facebook Messenger. So those people go into those few buckets and then we just remarket to them from there.
That's super awesome. And so I guess, talk about the kind of results. I have a couple of numbers. What kind of results have you seen, Alex? And we can talk a little bit more about that by implementing a full zero-party data strategy of collecting data and then leveraging that data.
Yeah, the results that we've seen, it was just like really quickly off the bat coming with you guys. I don't know the exact number, but I think you guys have a pretty hefty chunk of our like monthly revenue.
I'll share some numbers because I do have some of these numbers up, and I mean, they're super awesome. So just a couple of the numbers for everyone out there. When the last 2 years working together, Octane AI has helped generate over $5 million, actually somewhere closer to $6 million for skinny mixes, which, that's hopefully a small chunk of change. But even in the last like month or so during like the Black Friday period, that was about like, $500,000 or so that we helped generate. And I think even more important than that, like, yes, the revenue is super important, but we've also helped you collect these like zero-party data points that you can use in the future. And so we took a quick look. You've actually collected over 100,000 zero-party data points about like to help personalize those experiences with your customers through the quizzes and the conversational pop-ups that you've implemented. And somewhere around 20% of people who even start a quiz end up completing it. And you're right, there's a whole bunch of people who are going and retaking it because they want to find new recipes or find some for their friends or things like that. So those are a couple of the numbers that I saw that popped out. Like, you guys are doing awesome.
Yeah, been great.
So, okay. So we talked a little bit about the results and we talked about like some of the data collecting and how you're going and doing that. I definitely kind of want to talk a little bit about like, kind of like how you kind of like think about the future. Do you think you'll be investing more in deeper personalization and like, making your emails more segmented? Is there anything that's like really exciting to you, things you're thinking about for, I guess, in the next year?
Yeah, segmenting is definitely the thing that I'm most excited about. We actually like our return customer rate is around 65%. Like that's where all our orders from. It's like our return customers, they have the highest average order value. They're like ready to purchase new products. So segmenting is what I'm super excited about and just like getting more personal with them and giving them all the information that they need. So the past 3 years have been kind of a whirlwind because it's like we started the website and then COVID hit. And then, we've spent the last year trying to get everybody to come back to the website from that volume. And we found that people have come back and we have been able to sustain it. So now's the time to just really nurture those customers that we got to come back.
Any kinds of specific flows or campaigns you're thinking about using this data, or any kind of questions you hope to ask in the future, or even just anything that new that you've learned about your customers over the last year or two after implementing a zero-party data strategy?
We just want to get more and more niche with having so many products. It's very easy, like I said, to put it into those 2 buckets, but it expands out to people who drink tea, people who drink water, people who are baking, you know, it even goes into like people who are using this for like their coffee shops. So it's really endless, the stuff that we can do for segmenting. So I want to get more into that. And I want to figure out more like what are the questions that our customers want to be asked and what questions are going to be valuable to us as well.
So last question on my end, and we can go and wrap up. So your team, you've built a really successful D2C brand. Like, what advice would you have for other brands who are thinking about adapting to these like new data privacy changes, looking into a zero-party data strategy? How can they achieve even a percentage of the success that you and Skinny Mixes have achieved?
I would say just make it like as personal as you can. Like I said, in this new like digital world, we're really missing that. And it feels so nice, you know, when you feel like a brand is actually speaking to you and it feels like you're heard. That's one of our biggest compliments from our customers, is that they do feel heard on every single aspect, whether, you know, it's changing like a little thing on the website or whether we give them the flavor that they want. It's like, just listen to your customers and don't be afraid to test things. We're never afraid to test at Skinny Mixes. We'll just do crazy out of the box stuff. Our team is always really behind it. So yeah, just test and don't be scared. Like, data is pretty much everything. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask them. Throw, you know, your customers a $25 gift card to take your quiz. Like, you'll see great results.
Alex, Tina, I feel like that's a perfect place to go and end this conversation.
That is amazing. So many great insights. Thank you so much, Alex and Ben, for joining. Before we wrap up, though, I would love to let people know where they can learn more about Skinny Mixes and Octane AI. So, Alex, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, so you can visit us on skinnymixes.com. And then, of course, you can take the recipe quiz and you can see what Octane has been able to build for us. And then you can check us out on Instagram. We have a lot of fun recipes on there. We're constantly doing crazy, you know, TikTok type content. So you'll get a little entertainment, if not, you know, fall in love with a recipe.
That's perfect.
I follow the Instagram. It's great. So we're at Octane AI, OCTANEAI on every social network, octaneai.com, OctaneAI on Instagram, on Twitter, everything but TikTok. Someday we'll go and do that. But, you know, I also just want to say, like, we're also just launched a new personalization program with top partners, like including FuelMade, where they're helping some of the stores across the world, like, implement some of the zero-party data strategy together. Because when you implement that in your email and your SMS and in your Messenger, you get the kind of results that Skinny Mixes has seen.
Mm-hmm. It's game changing. Absolutely. And thank you so much for both of you joining today, sharing your insights. For anyone that's still listening in, we do have an ebook that's available, and it features all of the brands that we're talking to throughout this series, but it actually dives in even deeper. It's going to share tactics, strategies, metrics, and so much more. I'll link to it in the comments below, and you can download it for free, and we'll see you at our next episode. Thank you so much again, Ben and Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you.